Really loved our work out there today. Thought we got really just great work, great competition between both sides. Um, the format, we really went live tackle for 30 plays total. I think it was about 30, 32 plays between both blue and white. Then we had a 2 minute end of half, which was really competitive. Got field goal opportunities from both sides, which was positive for the offense. Then we went to another scrimmage situation where it was stud, and then we finished up with our red zone lockout, which is a competitive, really fringe area where our guys were able to compete with the defense winning and the offense running gassers at the end in that period of the scrimmage. But overall positive. I thought both Jay and Joe called a really good game. I asked them to not complicate the offense or the defense for these guys. Let's see them go out and play some football. And I really liked the effort and the energy out there. We're obviously nowhere near where we need to be, but I do feel like our guys have improved since day one. And we have some really good football players. So I'll take questions.
Well, you said you've seen improvement since day one. Where do you think you've seen the biggest improvement so far?
I think just the toughness, the tenacity, learning how to practice. When it's thud mode, we are staying up. When it's tag mode, we were tagging the hip. When it was live today, we were taking them to the ground. So I think just understanding our way of practicing has been very positive, just because the logistics of running a football practice are pretty insane. And then for our first scrimmage, I was proud of the effort, the intensity. We did our Mamba drill again, which is our one-on-ones, just to start the scrimmage off and get the juices flowing. So I love where our guys are at in terms of their ability to take coaching and to show great effort on the field.
In your experience, what's the balance between being physical but not taking unnecessary risks with like exposing guys to too much contact?
Totally. I mean, I just know like you have to callous your body for contact, and if you just wait till the fall, I believe it's too late. The best teams I've been a part of have been physical, and practices are physical. But there is a fine line, John. There really is about how to practice, and that is it's the balance, man. It really is, because you want a tough team, but you also got to protect your guys and get them to the fall. So I mean, we're always thud. This is the first time I went to the ground today, and it was really 30 plays total. And I love to see our guys in thud scenarios today keep our guys up and not have you have opportunities over the middle for a kill shot, and they're not taking them because they love their teammates and they understand the way to practice. But it is definitely a balancing act.
You know, it can sometimes be a little bit harder at times to evaluate some of the running backs and where they're at until you start doing some of those tackling and playing the game. So what did you see out of the running backs today, and how are they looking?
Yeah, I mean, the running back situation right now, we've held CJ and Vontae in these scenarios, and those guys are excellent football players. CJ's been going through really all of the individual. He worked today pre-practice, and I just know what they've been through in their past, and it's my job, like John asked about how to practice, to get those guys to the fall. So I know it was talked about Martellus Carter getting reps, and he's been fantastic. I'm really excited about him working on both sides of the ball. I think he's a natural ball carrier, so that's been fun to see. Jason Patterson's been getting a lot of work as well. So our job is to get that group to the fall. If there's a spot that I'm focused on, it's them. But I know that both CJ and Vontae have played a lot of football, and up to this point they've been excellent. And they've been going through all of our walkthroughs, and I've been cognizant of making sure that they are playing for us come September 5th.
With Martell's, is that a situation where you got to find a way to get him to the field?
100%. I mean, I put on his high school tape, I think, early before spring, just his high school tape. I mean, he was a two-way player, and he was really good. And you saw him catching interceptions in high school and almost turning into a kick return. So I've been very pleased with his progress. He's still working on both sides of the ball, but, I believe he's got a bright future on offense and running the football.
Josh mentioned he's returning kicks a little bit too. How do you feel about your returner options? I don't think there's anybody who's done that at the college level in the roster. How do you feel about those guys?
Yeah, no, I feel really good. Kick return is such an interesting special teams, and I'm wondering when it'll end up going to the NFL style. Maybe in a year or two, who knows? But yeah, Martellus has done a great job back there. I think all running backs are all going to be involved in that part of special teams. But even young guys like Kenny Darby have shown out. I like where he's at. I like Ty Bryant has done a really good job in the return game. Andrew Weber's back there. We've done a lot more to this point, punt and punt block and punt return. Just that takes so much work. So this was the first week we really dove into kickoff and KOR. So we'll see who it's going to be. We just like when we practice, we got 8 guys back there returning, and it's such a feel thing. But we got one kickoff return today, and then mostly it was all punts.
What did you see from Kenny today and the rest of the quarterback room?
Just great command. And we put him in some situations. Again, we had a 2-minute end of half. We had really just move the field opportunities. I love the way that he can create outside of the pocket. You know, I've mentioned it in here before. He looks like he's been playing for me and playing for Joe for a while. That's just like the aura about him, and I think he's got a great grasp on what we're doing offensively. I like the tempo that we played with today. I thought that was good to see in our guys understanding these tempo or menu plays that we've installed and watching them go out there and compete. But I love Kenny's accuracy. I love his moxie and his command.
We spoke to you a week ago. You said that defense had won that day. What did you say of the defense today, and how did that translate to more of the live reps?
Yeah, I love where our defense is at. I think Jay's got a great grip on that side, allowing these guys to go rush and affect the quarterback, which Jay's used to doing. And, you know, I saw some PBUs, saw some sacks. There was some ball in jeopardy plays by our quarterbacks that would have probably been sack fumble, you know, which we obviously don't want on offense, but on defense it was really good to see. And I think those guys are understanding the scheme. You know, I think we lacked some rush discipline at times and got quarterbacks free on long scrambles. But for the most part, I thought the defense competed their butts off and showed great life on that side of the ball.
Well, going back to Martell, do you eventually want him to focus on one side, or are you open? Do you think we'll see him?
Yeah, I think once the season gets here, we'll really kind of settle in. Right now, it's, you know, I want him to be comfortable coming to work every single day and still having the opportunity on both sides of the ball. But I think he sees, like I see, like he's got a natural knack to play running back. So he's not shying away from it. I told him yesterday how proud I am of him and his ability to see growth and to have a growth mindset and not be fixed on, hey, I'm at this position, I must play this. You know, when did I see this? On him returning punts. I was like, dang, this guy he's got natural wiggle, and on his highlight tape. So I was like, hey, you want to do this? And he was open to it. So he's still working both sides. Yeah, I think come fall we'll have a better grasp on where we want to go with that.
Is there a facet of how you run practice and how you do things that you think was maybe toughest for players to adjust to, and how do you feel like, if there is, it's come along?
Yeah, Eric, I think it's just the drills that you do. Like, you have to teach them. It's not like you can just go out on the field and then teach it on the field. We do everything before we even get out to the practice field. So learning what this drill is called and then taking the teaching in a meeting room out to the grass during a walkthrough scenario, practicing the practice on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then going on the next day, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and actually doing the drill that we practice doing. So I'm big on like efficiency, and if these guys don't know the drill prior to practice, like, shame on you as a coach. So that's been the biggest adjustment. But I'll tell you what, like, from day one, these guys have been receptive to coaching. They sit up straight in meeting rooms. They're attentive. They're awake. They're juiceful on the field. And what's that going to be come fall? I don't know yet, but I do know that we have a great process, and these guys have done a great job to this point of accepting the process.
You mentioned a couple of times situations that you put them in. How situational do you get? And I know it's only spring right now, but even in the fall, as far as just situational football and those types of things?
We do a ton. Because that's where the game's really won and lost, right? Got to have it placed, third downs, red area, touchdowns. You know, obviously there's, in a 60-play game, you're going to have probably 35 or so normal down plays, 1st and 10, 2nd and 1 to 6, and then you have your 3rd down calls that you're going to have, your red area calls, and 2-minute drills. So we try to put them in chaotic environments now. So when fall hits, there is no chaos. We're calm within the chaos. So we've hit about every situation that you can to this point of spring ball. I mean, we were doing last plays the other day. Your second to last play of the game, so your chunk defense, and then your last play from the 30-yard line, last play from the 18-yard line, and getting these guys in uncomfortable situations. And so today's real situation was 2-minute end of half, 1:03 left, you got 1 timeout, any points are good. So that was good to see our guys go execute on offense, and the defense held the offense to a field goal, which is obviously positive. We'd rather have no points, but it was a non-touchdown drive for the quarterbacks or for the offense. But yeah, we do a ton of situational football. We teach it. We teach it in meetings, and then we do it on the field.
You've seen from the tight end group to this point.
I really like where they're at. Like, Willie Rodriguez is a fantastic player. This guy can play ball, and he made some big plays today. He is definitely one of our go-to guys. I mean, if we're not feeding him the rock daily, shame on us. That guy is a NFL player, no doubt. So I've been around some really good tight ends, especially recently. That guy can play. Henry Boyer, another guy. That guy's going to play in the NFL. He's a really good player. He's got the size, he's got the weight, he's got the intangibles up front. He's a true Y, but he's been catching the ball really good. And then Skinner, I mean, he made some big plays today on the perimeter. Excited about his growth. He's got to continue to learn and push in the classroom and take it out to the field. But when that dude knows what he's doing, he's a problem. He's a big problem. So I really love that group. I think Coach Burke's done an excellent job of coaching them, and they should play a big role in our offense moving forward.
Speaking of the pass catchers, maybe a little less numbers, hardly comes last second. We've heard a lot about DJ from all the players, but what would you maybe see from them today, maybe in those mama drills, but also throughout spring?
Yeah, DJ's had a really good spring. Nick Anderson. I really like Shane Carr too. I think when you look at his pass, he's had a lot of production, and I think when guys catch a lot of footballs in college and get a lot of yards, a lot of times it does translate, even though he's going up a level. He's got a huge catch radius. He's got real speed. He's got juice, and he loves playing, right? So I think he's done a great job. J.K. Ferguson, that dude he's an electric player. Electric. He's got another guy that's got size. He can play inside and outside. I think he can be a matchup problem. I really do. I like where he's at. And then young guys like Kenny Darby. The guy's got some juice too. Like Prince Jean, he's done a great job up to this point playing in the slot. Denarius Gray, another kid with length. So I really like our wideout room. I think it's one of our deeper rooms for sure. Unproven, but I think deep with talent. And so excited about their growth.
Well, because of their injury situation last year, a bunch of their corners played maybe before they were ready. How do you feel about that group and the depth?
I like them. I mean, I think when you look at like Tyrion Nichols, right? You got Nas. DeMarcus Gardner's had a great camp. He's a energetic dude that can make plays on the football. You got Hassan, you got Braxton. You got guys that we brought in too to come in and make an impact on our defense. And then I think the way that Jay calls it, not to protect them, but if you play man coverage every snap, like you're bound to give up an explosive. It just is a fact. So being able to play different variations of coverage in the back end to, I don't want to say take a breather play, but to give them vision on the quarterback rather than just have their back to the quarterback, I think that helps those guys out. So up to this point, those guys have competed really well, and I'm excited about that group too.
Well, obviously, you looked a lot of film with Kenny, you talked to people around him and him before he got in the program. But what's something maybe you learned about him on or off the field that you didn't know until he got here and you were around him every day?
You don't know how much they actually love ball. You really don't. Like, they can tell you, I mean, there's a lot of good stories out there when you recruit, but, like, what are the facts? And the only way to get the facts is to be around them daily. So I've just been really impressed with his process, with his love for the game. The best guys I've been around truly love it. And he's up at the facility as much as the coaches. So he's invested in this team. He is a great team guy. I think he's still, like, just like everybody's finding their voice, but I'm hearing him more and more get the guys going. I think he commands the huddle with ease, and he's confident in there, which is really cool to see. So I would just say his love for the game has been really, really awesome.
Do you need your quarterback to be a rah-rah guy? In the past, have you had different personalities?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking about guys that I've coached recently. Dante wasn't really a rah-rah guy, but when he like takes the huddle, it's like confident. Same with Dylan and Bo, and that's what I feel from Kenny. So you can't be fake. You got to be authentic. You have to be yourself. Nobody's asking him to be a rah-rah guy, but when it's time to turn up, when the practice might be like lulled and like just like anything, it's just human nature, right? We're really human beings hitting each other all the time. So there's going to be a lull in practice at some point. Can he flip the switch? And that doesn't mean yell and scream and be a big cheerleader, but like look somebody in the eye and say, hey, I need you to go right here. And so that's to me the sign of a great leader, that he's authentic, he's himself, and he demands the best from his guys. So Kenny has that, just like a lot of the guys that I've coached have had that. And but he's in a growth mindset, so he's continuing to work on that on a daily basis.
You mentioned Baxter and Barnes not really competing today because some injuries in the past, just making sure they're ready to go this September. Nick obviously kind of has a similar past. Did he was 100% today, or?
No, we kept Nick out as well. Just want to make sure, again, just like you said, guys that have had some stuff, just to not put them in disadvantage or not good advantageous situations for them. So, I'm usually not like that, but I'm thinking about my team and thinking about September as well, and making sure that those guys are good.
Well, you talk about not knowing how much guys love ball. Other than being at the facility all the time, what's the biggest kind of characteristic that you see? Just guys who just love talking about it all the time, or they like?
I think just when you watch them practice,
Yeah.
the way they compete, the way that they bring it every single day, like a Grant Godfrey brings it every single day. Ty Bryant brings it every single day. A Willie Rodriguez. Shoot, Bo Barnes has brought it every day. That guy has gotten a lot better since day one, and watching him go out there and compete has been a lot of fun. Our D linemen have brought it every day. So I think that's what you look at in the recruiting process. Do they love it? Our game's too hard. This ain't like other sports. Like, you better really love ball, because it is a grind, and it is physical as hell, and it's just not like any other sport. And that's why I love it, because it teaches you so much about life. Life's tough. Like, you might go 99 yards on a football field and get stuffed at the one, but tell them that's life too. Everybody in this room, me too, we might work so hard every single day, we grind, but we don't just get that job that we want, or the promotion. Or we don't get something. Like, so what, now what? You better buckle the chin strap back up and go out there and play.
We saw you at Keeneland yesterday. Obviously, it's been a couple months now. How are you enjoying life in Lexington off the field? You guys feeling settled in, you and the family?
We are getting settled. Yeah, I got invited by Luther over at Central Bank to go over there and help present the award for that race. So that was really cool. It was my first time at Keeneland, and what an unbelievable facility. Just the views, the food, the people, the pageantry of horse racing is so cool. So I was able to present the Central Bank Race Award, which, I mean, I've never done that before in my life. But it was definitely cool, and I felt the energy in Keeneland for not only the horse racing, but for Kentucky football. And, it was cool. Marshawn Lynch was there, which was kind of cool. So dabbed him up. And he's obviously got a connection out at Cal with my guy Tosh Lupoy. So we had a good moment talking about Tosh, and was able to see a lot of people that are extremely excited and supportive of Kentucky football, which is very positive.
One or two more. What's going to be the push this week as you head into a new week after this scrimmage to try and get better? Get that next
Yeah, I think it's kind of cleaning up some of our core plays. Can we run inside zone in our sleep versus every single look? Can we run 3-deep zone versus every single look? So the situational football has been installed. Now I'll just kind of plug and play different situations throughout the week. Tuesday will probably be a lighter day just because it was pretty physical out there today. I want to make sure these guys can get their legs underneath them. And then tomorrow is what we say we go to the doctor. Like, we're going to check the tape, and shoot, you go to the doctor for an annual checkup when you're feeling good, and you go to the doctor when you're feeling bad. So regardless of the outcome, watching the tape and trying to see what necessary improvements we have to make going into this week.
Will it feels like those 27 quarterback dominoes are starting to fall. How do you feel about that? Is there a chance you'll take 2 there? Where's the kind of process?
I do like where we're at currently with that class. We've had some elite players come through here, and not just quarterback wise, but all positions. Now it's our job to close. It's hard because there's not anything going on in college football besides recruiting right now. And spring ball, obviously, so there's always buzz. The best way I've recruited is on Saturdays and showing great product on the field. So you're not going to win or lose recruiting right now, but it does build momentum towards the future in the class. And kids are making earlier decisions now going into official visits. But I mean, this weekend we have a star-studded cast here. We've had like you asked about the quarterbacks. We've had really good quarterbacks come through here. So one thing I'm not going to do is beg and plead. I'm not going to get on my hands and knees and say, please come to Kentucky. No, they better want to be here. They better want to play for the blue and the white. They better want to play in Kroger Field. We have a great product. We have every resource that we need right now to go field an elite 27 class. We're building the relationships. And why wouldn't you want to play in this offense? Why wouldn't you want to play for me and for Joe Sloan? I mean, you're talking about guys that have taken guys to New York recently, not 25 years ago, right now. And I've had elite quarterback play, and guys have translated to great play in the National Football League. So these players know that they're coming on our campus, and I feel like we are in a really strong position with a handful of these guys.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Good. Thanks.